Hello friend. Friend, in this video session I am going to deal with a very important letter topic. The letter is to be written to the editor of a newspaper, describing the importance of developing sports infrastructure in India to create more Olympians. But friend, before we switch to dealing with this letter in an effective way, let me tell you that Banquiz has launched a very comprehensive course package for NABARD Grade A Phase 2 examination 2022. Friend, in this package you will get a lot of fodder materials, and the fodder materials will contain Super 30 model essays which are very much likely to be asked in the examination of yours, and you will get more than 40 model letters, whether formal letters or informal letters. Okay, and you will get a lot of practice mocks, whether the mocks are section wise or full length mocks. And the most important thing about this course package is that you will get the evaluation of your answers from our expert side within 24 hours time. And if you have any kind of doubts regarding your answers, you will have the facility of two-way communication in which you will get your doubts cleared. Okay, and you will get all these things at a reasonable price. You will get all these things at 2,899 only. So please pay a visit to banquiz.com and go through the course packages of this exam. Now friend, let us switch to dealing with this letter. Friend, this letter was asked in the second phase of NABARD Grade A exam in the year 2021. Friend, the letter is formal in nature, and in any formal letter, you have not to use any informal words. You have to be very much strict to using good words. Okay, and redundant formalities are also to be discarded. You have not to use redundant statements. You have not to use any roundabout statement in the letter which is formal in nature. Okay, friend, a formal letter has some particular parts. You should learn those parts. You should keep those parts in mind in order to deal with such letters to gain more and more score. Friend, a formal letter has first of all heading. Okay, the heading comprises your address, that's to say sender's address, and date. Okay, and in the second place recipient address will be there. Okay, recipient's address will be there. And in the third place you need to provide the subject of the letter. The subject of the letter must be concise. It must be conveying the exact idea of the letter. Okay, and in the fourth place you need to supply the content of salutation. In the salutation, dear ma'am, dear sir, or only sir or madam is to be given. And in the fifth part, the main part of the formal letter comes. It is the body part. Friend, the body part must be very much concise. It must be simple. It must be conveying the same idea which the letter gives out. Okay, and in the fourth place, the complementary part comes. Okay, the complementary part comes. It contains yours faithfully or faithfully yours. Okay, and in the seventh position, what you need to provide is the signature of yours. Okay, this is the part of your signature. And the eighth part is optional. If you need to enclose some particular documents in support of the letter, then you this part will be there. This is said to be the enclosure. Okay, a enclosure may contain some particular documents in support of the letter, and you need to mention all those documents or all those enclosures point wise, 1 2 3, something like that. Okay, and in this way your formal letter will be over, and it will definitely be highly marks fetching. Now friend, let's deal with the letter given. Friend, the as you see on the screen that in the heading, what is to be mentioned, the address of yours. In the address is simply mention ABC. You need not put your exact address. Okay, simply write ABC or XYZ, and then put the date of yours, and there comes the recipient address. Here I have mentioned to the editor, to must not be followed by any comma. Okay, so you have not to put any comma, and then the editor, the Times of India, Delhi. However, you can change the name of the newspaper. Okay, and then there comes the subject. The subject I have mentioned in a very concise way, about developing sports infrastructure for more Olympians. This is very concise, and the body content must revolve around the subject. Okay, and now the salutation part comes, and in the salutation part I have mentioned sir or madam. Okay, now friend, let us switch to the body part of the letter. Friend, the body of the letter should be started abruptly. If you are going to write the letter to the editor of a newspaper, okay, you should not mention any formal sentences such as through your esteemed newspaper, I would like to convey my idea regarding this, regarding that. Okay, you should rather start the letter, the body part of this letter abruptly. Okay, this is the first thing, and the second thing is that keeping in mind the topic of the letter, you should follow the similar pattern as an essay does. You know that essay has a definite introduction, it has the definite body part, it has a definite conclusion. Okay, so your body part of this letter should contain these things. Okay, introduction, body and conclusion, and in this way your letter will definitely become highly marks fetching. Okay, now friend, let us come to know of the body part of this letter. Friend, I have divided the body part, the body of the letter into different paragraphs. The first paragraph mentions the performance of India in the Olympic Games. I have mentioned in the very first paragraph as India first participated in Olympics in 1900 during the English regime and bagged only 2 silver medals with only one athlete, and only in 1948 after independence the country won the first gold medal in hockey at the Summer Olympics. In the year 2008, the country won 3 medals, including 1 gold medal, and in the year 2016, only 2 medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze, but not a gold medal. In the Olympic Games held in 2021, India bagged 7 medals in totality for the first time, out of which 1 was gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. Though the number of medals has increased, yet the number is never considered satisfactory. Friend, I hope you have already come to know of the thing why I have mentioned the performance of India in the very first paragraph. Friend, on the basis of these facts, we will mention why India is in need of developing sports infrastructure to create more Olympians. So friend, this paragraph is highly important. So you mention this in the very first one. Okay, and in the second paragraph, what you need to do is to describe everything in detail. Just you need to supply the reasons. Okay, here I have mentioned in the second paragraph as cricket in India has flourished a lot. I have made a comparison between cricket and other sports in the country. Obviously, we know that cricket has overshadowed other sports in the country. So, such ecosystem is to be developed that other sports in the country should also flourish, as cricket in the country has already flourished. I have mentioned the cricket industry in the country. The Indian sports industry in 2020 is estimated at rupees 5,894. Here sports industry, I mean to say cricket sports industry. Okay, cricket sports industry is estimated at rupees 5,894 crore, and thus claiming 45% of total cricket revenues, with 75% coming from IPL. In this way, this sport overshadows other sports in the country. Despite the facts that sports can bring the country massive revenues. Here, friend, I have mentioned, as you have already noticed, why I have mentioned cricket. Cricket brings India a lot of revenues. If other sports in the country are developed, India will in this way gain massive revenues. So, it is necessary for the country to develop a sports infrastructure for other sports as well, for the Olympic Games. Okay, and then in the third paragraph I have mentioned India is the second largest populated country, and so there is no dearth of talents. What the country needs to do is to create more Olympians by developing sports infrastructure, and then make the infrastructure available to them easily in the same way as cricket is now available to every nook and corner of the country. Okay, I have mentioned that India has no dearth of talents because it has a very large population. But the talents are not coming in the Olympic Games because they lack a proper ecosystem for the Olympic Games. So, this paragraph is also important to be discussed in the later. Now, in the third paragraph, what you need to mention is that though the government has taken sincere efforts in developing more and more sports facilities across the country, yet there are a lot of drawbacks. Okay, at present the country has approximately 100 sports facilities. India has followed the model of PPP, okay, public private partnership, in order to develop the sports ecosystem in the country. So you can also mention this. Okay, here I have mentioned that at present the country has approximately 100 sports facilities, but a majority of them are largely neglected and ignored in terms of utilization and maintenance. Friend, this is the major concern. Though India has 100 sports facilities, but they are ignored and maintenance is not made. Also, a majority of sports infrastructure facilities in the country are mainly used for hosting international, national, and state and district level. So, this is the second reason. Further, I have mentioned as a result, the occupancy rates of the facilities remain low and they are financially dependent on the regulatory authorities for operations and maintenance. Friend, though India has 100 sports facilities, but their occupancy rates are very low. They are open especially to hosting international, national, and state level, state and district level games. They must be open to all kinds of athletes, all kinds of sportsmen throughout the year. These must not be occasional. Their occupancy rates must be increased in order to gain more and more talents from across the country. So friend, this is highly important. All these things obviously put an adverse effect on sports enthusiasts who could have made efficient use of such facilities. So these sports infrastructures should be properly managed, maintained, and made available to all sports enthusiasts for practice. So friend, don't you think that this is very highly important to mention under this later topic? Okay. Now friend, next paragraph contains the conclusion. Okay. In the conclusion, I have mentioned, however, the government has taken initiatives like a Khelo India to inspire many potential individuals to take up sports. To sustain this growth momentum in sports, there is a need to increase the number of sporting facilities with world-class infrastructure, which will enable the government to achieve its vision of 50 Olympic gold medals soon. So, friend, don't you think that this letter has become highly effective? This letter has become highly convincing. This letter will definitely convince the editor to publish your letter in his or her editorial columns. Hope you have already come to know of the fact how this kind of letter is to dealt with in a very effective manner. Okay. Wish you all the best. Meet you in the next video session in which we will be discussing some other letter topic in an effective manner. Okay. Thank you.